well, but I just started using Restream, so I'm still getting accustomed to everything. So, all right. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get started, even if it's just me and you, Vanetta. Okay, cool. So like this, this question came to me the other day, and it was just like it came from a question of a question, and the question was, how do you know when someone really likes you, right? Is it that they show attention? Are they showing attention? Are they giving you time? Are they giving you money? How are they showing you, what are you receiving in terms of how they show that they like you, right? That was basically the question. Now, moving forward in that, another thing that I don't think a lot of people pay attention to is, are we ready to settle down? And I'm not saying settle in terms of selling for second best. I mean, settling in a sense where it's like you're ready to be in a relationship. How do we know when we're ready to be in a relationship? What are those things that occur within us that's like, all right, I'm ready? Anybody want to join me and we could talk about it? Goddess Peg, are you want to join us? Miss Vanetta, you want to join? And we can have a little dialogue. So, but yeah, I was always wondered that. So I know with me, my picker has kind of been off, and I'm sitting up here thinking, well, how did I really know that I was ready to be like in a relationship? Honestly, I really didn't. I went under, um I was basically just wanting the act of being with someone, not necessarily saying that I was ready. It was just a whole concept of being in a relationship that was really like, um it just seems like it was just to be there, to be there. Hey, Miss Vanetta, how are you, darling? Owen, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I think the last time we connected, it was on Clubhouse. Yeah. Probably so. I'm like, so many people are like, "Are you on Clubhouse?" And are you still on it? And I'm like, "Yeah, I still do my Clubhouse on Wednesdays." Oh, okay. I don't know what room we were in together, but sometimes I'm on the rooms with those bigger questions of like relationships. I think we have so much control over so many other factors of our life, like education, our lifestyle, our career, businesses, that the one thing we really cannot control is the type of relationship we want, because it takes two people to agree. Right. And then, this, nah, I'm not chasing nobody culture. Yeah. It's like, so you go after the school you want, you go after the degree you want, or you go after the house you want. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna go after the type of man. That's funny, because like it seems like when it comes down to that, it's like we all revert back to elementary school. Like, no, I don't want to talk to him. No, I don't want to do this. And I'm just like, are we grown, or are we like back in like eighth grade? I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I've felt many a times when it comes to like, running across men that I have found attractive, just to go out on a date. Cause like I don't want to come off, and then you have all these like, what's the word? You start to question yourself. And I'm just like, why do I question myself? I go out every day, I do my job, and I'm in front of the public, and I can, because I work in corporate sales outside of, content creating. So I'm like, if I can literally go in, sell perfect strangers on a product or a service, why can I not have that same energy when it comes to relationships, or even just the art of dating? Because I'm just like, what happens to the art of dating? Are we doing that anymore? Like, what? I need answers.
Like, some of my followers jumped in and they making some comments. Thanks so much. I had sent the video out to some folks, and some people jumped in. When you go live, they notification.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're absolutely right. I think you have to come to a different way of doing things. Like, we cannot do things like we were courted back in the day. Like, I'm so glad I was able to experience like what true courting was, and to be in a relationship and had to understand the cues of someone liking you, wanting to be with you.
Yeah.
And, planning. Nowadays, it's like I said, we have control over so much stuff, and then we have more options, and we have more access to so many different people. I just think like we have so many options, and we're just like, okay, let me see. Does he have this? Oh, he doesn't have this, so let me just chuck him instead of saying, you know what? He has these core things that I like. I'm going to rock with him, and see, especially if he's already made it mutual, like,
right.
I'm coming for you. Like, my current lover, he always wanted to be in a relationship with, like, I tell people, I was like, he's in a relationship with me, but I'm not in a relationship with him.
How is that even possible, Vanetta?
Both parties have to agree. Understand being in corporate. I'm in corporate, and then I've had my businesses and so forth. So it's like we didn't have a contract. This is a different time. I'm not in mutual agreement. Yes, I have feelings for you. Yes, I care about you. Yes, I want to share some of my life with you.
Right.
However, to be in this type of serious committed relationship, I require a ring. I require a proposal. I require written commitments that we're both going to be held against, because I just don't want to wing it, or I just don't want to have these general relationship expectations, or
right.
want you to not to assume like, oh, well, I thought we were, a couple, or what does a couple look like, or like it comes down to like title. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is my girlfriend. I'm like, what is a girlfriend? Like, I look around like, who is your girlfriend? Like,
and it feels odd, like at this age to even be called a girlfriend, because I ain't been a girl in a long time, and I'm just like, do you say this is my woman, this is my lady friend? Like, all of it feels awkward.
My thing is this: I don't mind not having a title, because we haven't established that contract or agreement that's mutual, that we're holding each up to. Because even I've been married before, I'm divorced, and so forth, several times, and it's like, look, at this point, this moment, because I have a lot of stuff going on, and I truly have control over my life. Being someone's future wife is a responsibility.
Yeah.
That entail, and it's almost like, what am I going to get for this exchange of being your wife? Because if it's a protection providing situation, well, I can protect myself, and I've been providing for myself for 15 years. So I'm like, what else can we do together? So can you be my business partner?
Right.
I want Asian stuff over here. Are you able to add to that? Or my current business, it will be, come in as a partner and invest in those businesses, so we can, generate wealth together. Me having this over here, and you having that over there, and the person that, like, so my current lover, he's not a six-figure earner, but that's not a priority of mine.
Okay.
I don't require you because I can provide for myself. You're talking about serious. That's why I said, be careful when you're like, oh, we're in a relationship, because what does that entail? Because some people relationships, they had afforded those opportunities where people pay the rent. Well, my rent is $3,400. I live in this Washington area. You coming to the table like, if your rent's $900 and mine's $3,400, how much serious are you trying to get? Because it's like, and when people don't know what you have to deal with, see the cars. You paying these car notes? Because I don't have no one car note. I got several car notes. So it's like, you got to be stepping in to be able to be in a serious relationship with that person. What does that look like to you guys? And we're going, and I say, he's in a relationship with me because that's what he wants from his side. But like, what? So I allow him to say, though, like, when he introduced me to his friends, I'm like, oh, girl. But I'm like, I just be looking there like, she probably, like, it's like a foreign word.
A foreign concept. Well, I know the melanated Mexican, he said, this is my queen. And then Goddess Pay was like, this is my companion. So it's just like, that's typically what is that what we saying? Because, like, girlfriend, boyfriend, I cannot do.
Yeah, like, I'm 43. Like, for you to be like, this is my girl. Like, when he says it, I cringe. I'm like, like, girlfriend, like, what is the girlfriend? What are her expectations? Because, and then when I introduce him, I don't introduce him with a title. I'm like, this is his name. This is who he is. This is this person. That's that person. Hey, gaga. Like, I'm not trying to attach a title because we don't have anything that we agreed upon. And, you know, and you want to be serious about me, but like, so we maintain two separate households. What does our future look like?
Right.
And if you can't fill in those gaps, like I told him, I was like, why should we be in a relationship for what? He was like, well, we can give each other advice. Well, I'm a business consultant too. Like, I don't need to be
right. I'm just like, if I want advice, I could do that. I can call my homegirls. I can, you know, seek professional advice. Excuse me, the dog had to be seen tonight. That's what.
That's him all day long. He around me. He like. But yeah, so I challenge men when, like I said, when you date for intentions, what does it look like? And then when you're dating a certain woman, what are you going to take off her plate? Because I prepared a soft life for myself. So my expectations are different when you are trying to be the head of the house. It's like, so what does that look like?
Right. Yeah, because if you head of the house in my opinion, if you are taking the head of the house, then we not living like roommates. That is something that I am very adamant on, and that comes from my own experience. Like I was engaged, and literally we were long distance for like a period of a year and a half. So we saw each other. I was on the West Coast, he was on the East Coast. So life when you're coming to see each other once a month is not the same when it's time for you to actually combine living expenses and living habits and patterns and all that stuff like that. So know that I was in a culture shock. Here I am. I'm like, what do you mean you got bills that's past due? What do you mean? You know, in the Northeast, you don't pay your gas bill, your electricity bill as soon as there is 60-degree weather, you getting cut off. And you know, that's what happened. So like the thing was, we didn't even go in with a plan. It was just like, oh well, you gonna take care of half of the bill. Who said that? Like my mama didn't teach me that way, but yet I got on this roller coaster all because of a relationship. Well, I'll compromise it. And my whole thing is you can't compromise your boundaries. You can't compromise. If I didn't live in a house where my mom went 50-50 on the bills, which she did, my dad paid all the bills, and her money was used for, like, I don't know, groceries, investing, all that stuff. I didn't come from that household, so why did I accept that? All because I was trying to be in a relationship.
Right. So you're trying to hold on to one aspect of it and not realizing, like, we have a whole lot of other stuff to talk about. And people don't understand when you're surprised when you're starting to dissect things. Like, I've lived with them before, but I didn't pay the rent. They paid the rent. I didn't pay their mortgage. They paid their mortgage. Guess what? I wasn't on their lease, and I wasn't on the deed. They covered it takes the cost to be the boss. And that's the lifestyle I came from. My dad was the provider. My mom was a housewife. I'm a traditional woman. I am the first modern woman in my family, and I had trailblazed to the point where it's like, well, good Lord, how can we even go back to being because we set such a high precedent of we can do it our own. And it's a lot more to it. Like you said, like women, we can actually survive on our own as far as the reproductive part of it. But that's why God said man should not be alone. He created us for men. So when men be like, I don't need a woman. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. We need both of you. That's why I hate when people say that. I don't need a woman. I don't need a man. No, we need each other.
Right.
We need each other.
Here is because man shouldn't be alone, and we were created, and it takes two of us to continue this the lineage, the generation, But women, we can survive on our own. We might, like I said, we can't have our own kids, but we can survive in history by ourselves. So it's like when you have that mentality of like, oh, I don't need somebody. It's like you need somebody,
right? I hate when people say that.
Longevity life, you need somebody.
Exactly. I don't like when people say that, and I know that I and many of the good friends of mine, we've been like, no, we don't need a man. We want a man. No, we need a man. And I think that was just like for me, that was like a defense mechanism because you don't want to come off. And again, that's when you are in the mindset of, I don't want to look X amount of way to society or to men. Like, I don't want to look thirsty. And that word gets thrown around in so many ways where it's like, no, that's not thirsty. That's just understanding what you want. But if I'm one of these people that says, yes, I need a man, then it's like you look like you desperate.
No, I need a man by design of how God designed him to be. And that's what I say when I'm like, oh, I need a man. Like, I have the problem. I definitely need him to be a better me. Just like I need a job. Whether I create it on my own or have to go work for corporate America, it's nothing wrong saying the needs that you need. And I think, like, you don't show your strength in that way. You show your strength in a way where you can sustain your lifestyle that you cultivated and maintain. And you don't look for someone to say, hey, like, I afford a temporary luxury lifestyle. People are like, well, what is that? Well, my kids, we live in a luxury apartment. We do the best of the best because we're here for a short period of time.
Yeah.
After they become adult, I'm gonna be living like a nomad. I'll probably be living in a luxury RV because I don't want
a luxury tiny house.
In somebody's backyard, like,
right.
Your $3,400, all that $3,400 in my account. Guess what? I'm gonna Italy somewhere on some yacht. So you have to adjust to the scale and adjust. That's why I was like, I don't want a relationship because if you're not thinking the way I'm thinking, I don't want a big house. Because who gonna clean it? Because we're gonna be hiring like 3 or 4 maids. We're gonna have a whole staff, and then I'm gonna be like trying to write these people off on our taxes. I'm gonna be exhausted. I want a soft life. I don't want any extra stuff. After my children have left the nest, I don't want to help you with your kids. If your baby kids, I don't even
right. It's sad because like it's funny because like I look at my aunt, and she
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, come live with me. Well, Frank, I'm expensive. I just tell people.
He can afford you because he's a multimillionaire, so he knows.
Okay, hey Frank, my name's Holly. I'm 42. I'm glad I beat my mud tonight.
See, Frank wants a housewife, and that's the only hump that we got to go over. He wants a housewife, so I have to see what that. I got to see what the housewife looks like.
Frank, can I still be an entrepreneur if I'm a housewife?
You have to. If he's the boss. So he paid the cost to be the boss. So he has certain restrictions that you have to see if you can,
Well, Frank, I need to hear these restrictions. I think I've heard these restrictions before. I think I've heard it in a clubhouse somewhere, but it's been a year and a half. So I need a refresher. That's how I need.
He said, yes, you can sell my products. That's the only way I can be. I have to give up my businesses, which I probably had no problem. That's what I said. It's a strong lean, but it's other things to go into that.
But Frank, I got a pie. I literally just came out with merch. Frank.
Frank is like, to be his wife.
Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot. That's what I said. A man of his caliber, I will be willing to make those adjustments. And that's because he has the table, he has the foundation, he has what you would want in the security. You would just have to get over you have to change your mindset.
I mean, Frank, we can still talk. I mean, I just I'm curious as to what this looks like. Because again, as time changes, I will buy your company and close it.
The car fleet, we can look at 120K. So send me 120K. I close that out. I'll dissolve it too.
Right.
I just gotta refresh on my vegan cookbook and lose like 50 pounds. So
oh my goodness,
we'll get there.
but it's like I said before, I knew then back in that situation, I definitely, after hindsight is 2020, but looking back at it, like I know I desired a relationship, but like actually prepping yourself to become someone's wife, and then taking on their family and their responsibilities. Because literally, it seemed like this motherfucker just like racked up a whole bunch of bills, and now here comes my income. Like, oh well, we can split them. Split what? And my mom was like, "You shouldn't have been there. Why didn't you say nothing, Teresa?"
Right. Like your debt is your debt when you're coming into the situation, and those are things that you have to think of. Like I have student loan debt, so like I said, a man like Frank, I have to sit down and show him and see how we would work together to if that's something he's willing to take on. But he's also picking up some other attributes. But you have to understand when you're someone's wife, you are supporting their vision, and that's why he said you can sell my products. He knows his will. He knows what he needs to do in this world. So I'm here as his helpmate. So it's like, how can I help you elevate more and sustain our family, so we can all be in harmony? Because what it is a lot of women, such as ourselves, I put myself in that category. We're established and we're like, I'm trailblazing.
Right.
How we get trailblazed on our own, but when you become someone's wife, you have to give up, you have to sacrifice, you have to compromise, because it's for the greater good of the family nucleus that you're going to be taking over and putting that energy into the universe. It's no longer you and your individual goal and what you like. It's like, okay, how is this going to work for our family? How is this going to impact my children? How is it going to impact our you have to start thinking in that way. So you have to die to yourself. We have to shed again when we become someone's wife. And that's why it's important to vet early on and not waste time with these men that they don't even know how to be a husband, or they don't know their vision. They don't know their purpose. And some women think like, it's my job to help. No, a man, he comes to you, he's supposed to know his purpose, his will.
Exactly. He's got to be ready to step up. And I think that is the thing that I think as in this time frame, it seems like we're taking less than collectively. Like there's a lot of betting on potential. It's a lot of, oh well, he gonna get it eventually. Or it's like, oh, she don't know how to cook. That's okay. We can just have breakfast every day. No, because after a while, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches get old. And then two, it's just sort of like you didn't work. It's now you got to raise. If you got a kid, now you got to raise two, because it's sort of like now you got to raise this man that really wasn't ready for you at all, ready for you and what you wanted and your boundaries and your dreams and your goals and your desires. So it's like, and that's why it's funny, because I was saying this to somebody the other day. Like especially when you jump on the lives, like you see on one side, you have some really great men out there, really great. That's why I'll never say, ain't no good men out there, because it is. And then on the other side, you have some amazing women. And I'm just like, well, why in the hell we keep passing each other like shits in the night? And I think a lot of that has a lot to do is that each one of these ships keep docking at a place that can't handle the capacity of their boat. That's the best way I can put it. You keep docking into these places where it's potential, where it's, oh well, she ain't got this, but you negotiating with your non-negotiables, like I like to say it. So that's why we keep missing each other, because we keep docking at the wrong docks. I think we cracked the code for now, because there's way too many. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that you got.
The reason why you have those good great men, because I come across their path all the time, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be your wife. Like Frank, I'd be like, no, I don't think I want to give up what I have to help you accomplish, what you need.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mindset, because it's like, why not? Take a risk, give it a chance. But I think, like I said, women like us, we're very established. You're not willing to give it up. It's almost like you got to let it go. I don't know if you remember that. It's like a meme out there that has like God has a teddy bear, but the little girl wants her little girl's teddy bear. She doesn't want to give it up, but behind them is a bigger teddy bear, and that's how life is. It's like you have to give up. You have to shed to yourself,
right?
Yourself, because this has all been made over your journey.
Mm-hmm.
somebody's wife. This is also for if you're trying to be someone's wife, because I've been a wife, or for those who just joined and may not know, but to be someone's wife, you have to give up who you are to help him in his purpose, because he's going to take care of the family. It's going to all come together in that vision he has, because that's his purpose. He knows he got to provide and protect and take care, So if he already has that, your job is to help him out where he needs the help at.
Right.
Is that your vision? It's like, do I want that vision? Help him with that vision. If not, leave that man alone. But most women want the man to fulfill their goals, because that's your vision. It's your goals. These are just goals you have because you're single and you can frolic around and do
right. And I think the other thing is on the reverse side when it comes to the male portion of this equation. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means?
You're going to have a different cautious level where you're like, oh, I'm raised to a different level. I sleep and let my kid cough. I'm up. Like, I was sleeping real good. Like, what happened? It's like a different vibration you're on. You're going to be in tune to the family and environment, where if you would just focus on yourself and your goals, you're not going to hear your kid. You're not going to hear your husband. You're not going to be in tune to what he needs. He could be stressed out. You can be able to know when he's stressed out. You can say, okay, let me pray for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see he's stressed out. Or let me, see where I can help. Not take care of it, but help. And I think people don't really understand what the word help means.
No.
Over it. And it's not about you taking over and controlling it. It's about you shedding to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the family is. Oh, we got someone else to join.
Yeah. Hey, Chi. Hey, Bun Bun.
What's up, good down chocolate baby?
Vanetta, this is Chi, Mr. Got That Glow. Chi, this is Vanetta, the Vanetta Experience. I just want to make sure that y'all.
Nice to meet you, Vanetta.
Yes.
Pleasure's all mine. Listen, I've been listening, right? I'm always listening. Listen, man. I already know I'm always tuned in, right? Like always, right? And she made a statement, and I think you made a statement too. And I always combat when she say this, right? Like with the whole thing about two people that's even on all playing fields, they meet each other. Nobody don't want that. Everybody so you said something about individualism, right? And you having to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, but do something for the sake of the relationship, right? Well, that's the thing. Somebody gotta have the advantage. You've never found a situation. Now, I'm not saying it's not an all thing. Nothing is absolute, right? But tell me, how many situations have you really found where both parties was equal? We talking about looks, financial stability, family oriented, they love the same, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's always somebody that has to sacrifice more than the other. Whether it's, I look better than you, so you got to give up more, or I make more money than you, so you got to give up more, et cetera, et cetera. It's never a balanced playing field. Like, even if me and Holly hook up, I'm sure Holly might make more money than me. You see what I'm saying? I'm quite sure a lot of people will find her way more attractive than me, but guess what? My bun is way more real. You see what I'm
saying? You know what? You did not have to go there, Chi. God damn it.
We're speaking in terms of when you're choosing to be someone's wife. The wife role is a helpmate. You're not going to be, if I make money to my husband, I'm going to have to live off of his income if he wants me to stay at home. So guess what? I'm going to have to conform to his lifestyle. So if he lives in a 2-bedroom garden apartment, guess what? My black ass is going to make that 2-bedroom garden apartment real nice for us and comfortable. I can shed my luxury $3,400 apartment and yield under my husband. That's my husband. I'm not saying to do this in relationship. I'm just saying for your husband. If you think this man is supposed to be your husband, this is where you would have to start aligning with him. So I don't have to outshine him. I don't have to outmake more than him. I'm going to have to yield to his vision and his will of our family. If he's like, hey, we need to live in this tiny home for 3 years. We're going to save X, Y, Z money. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be like, you know what? I can do this. I can live in this tiny home. I can give this up. That's the key. We can project 3 years ahead and be.
That's the key.